think that this witness was somewhat impactful in that both of them gave their accounts of what they did see, what they did not see. As we heard Dre explaining, they said that they didn't see any abuse. They said that, he stood up when the girls came into the room and that he didn't eat when other people ate. This was the first witness, and said that he didn't experience or didn't see any abuse taking place. So I think that in terms of witnesses, in terms of what they can say they did see or didn't say, this was a decent witness, not as strong as the second witness that we're going to talk about. I would have flipped them, but this was someone who could at least give their inside view as to what was going on.
So let's stay with the first witness just for a moment longer, because the first witness also made an unusual request. Can you tell us about that?
And Sharon, this is why I say I would have flipped those witnesses. This is because this first witness asked that his demo reel be played. So it seemed like he was more of a fan overall. He did do musical work with R. Kelly. Apparently there was some work that was not finished. I think that he aspires to continue to work with R. Kelly in some way. Or for some reason, when he took the stand in the middle of this very important historic case, he wanted to play his music to R. Kelly for reasons unbeknownst to anyone. And this was something that, of course, the judge said, no, absolutely not. This isn't going to happen. All right, this isn't some type of a music studio. But a very strange request, and it just didn't seem as though this was as strong of a witness as they could put. Listen, when you are in the middle of putting on your defense, you put on your strongest witness first, and then you also end your case very strongly. And I don't think that that threshold was met here.
Yeah, and you also, this is something else you taught us, Candace. You need to understand and know what your witness is going to say, what they're going to testify to. So it seems like this person just kind of sprung it on and played the demo reel. The second witness was a former police officer. We heard about him, a bodyguard, who said he had a duty to report anything wrong. How did the prosecution, though, attempt to discredit him, and was it effective?
So as I said, Sharon, a strong witness, a strong witness in that this was a former police officer. You do want to hear someone who has credibility, and a police officer might have some credibility, especially in terms of all the witnesses that we heard. But on cross-examination, what the prosecution did was bring up a former felony of this former police officer. And this police officer said, listen, I pled guilty to that felony, but I actually did not do anything wrong. I didn't commit any felony, which is why the prosecution went in and said, okay, so that means you basically lied. So at one point you said that you did do it. Now you're saying that you didn't do it, just kind of implying that, well, how do we know if you are telling the truth now? And this is something that they really pounced on, ended on. I was speaking to Dre about just being in court, and he said that it was a really dynamic, formidable moment that really stuck with the jurors probably in this case. So just an interesting process that we did see the stronger witness that was really kind of, I guess his credibility was really tested by the prosecution when it all came down to the end.
You lying then or you lying now? I mean,
yeah,
the prosecution
and that's always the issue, right?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know,
that's
you
always
just
the case where the prosecution, they have to see their time to go in. We saw the defense do this in the prosecution's case.
Yeah, the prosecution complained to the judge, too, that there was a list of witnesses they were unaware of. Why is that an issue? A surprise attack?
Yeah, you know, Sharon, like you were saying before, one thing you want to do, you want to prep your witnesses. You want to make sure that you know what they are saying when they get on the stand. They had a list of a half dozen witnesses, and then they took out 3 of them, and they wanted to put 3 more in. And the prosecution said, listen, we don't know about any of these witnesses that are coming forward. We need to know in order for us to have a fair trial, in order for the state to make a case, we need this information before. Now, the defense, on the other hand, said, we're having problems getting our witnesses to come in. Now, we don't know why that is, whether it was COVID or whether these witnesses are kind of hesitant about taking the stand. But they had a problem flying some of their witnesses in, which is why they got out a little bit early. And so we're going to see what happens a little later, whether or not they will give a complete witness list. But this is not a good look. So, of course, this was out of the ears of the jury. But, you know, when you don't have strong witnesses, when you don't have a lot of witnesses on the first day, it doesn't look good. They should have a bevy of witnesses at their disposal in order to make their case. I'm not sure how they did today. We'll have to see how they do today. And hopefully for R. Kelly, I'm sure he's thinking, hopefully my attorneys do a better job for me today.
I hope it's not about ticket price, Candace, because, I mean, prices have gone up, but there are some cheap,
Yes.
3 airports in New York. I mean, they can get them there. Deliberations, though, could start as early as this Thursday, I believe. What does a short list of witnesses versus the long list from the prosecution say about either side's case? Because the jury's not really supposed to judge based on that.
Right. And generally speaking, your defense will have the shorter list because many times the people who are taking the stand are the same people on both sides. So a short list doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. A short list in this case meaning 6 people as opposed to the 45 that the prosecution had. It depends upon what they say. But again, if you start out with your strongest witnesses, which is what you are supposed to do, I'm not sure it was a very strong start. But then again, maybe they're trying to end with a big bang. And again, there were problems bringing in people. What's going to be key for them is to get a woman on the stand. Will this happen? A woman on the stand vouching for R. Kelly, saying that, you know what? All of this was kind of a misunderstanding. Let me tell you what was going on behind the scenes. That's what we need. That's what the jury needs in terms of R. Kelly and his hopes. He's hoping that a young woman or an older woman is going to take the stand on his behalf. We'll have to see if that happens.
They need to leave the demo reel behind, too, okay? Because
that's
not going to help R. Kelly.
Yes.
All right, Candace, well, some heavy stuff throughout this trial. We'll see how it ends. If it ends, as you said, maybe with a bang. Justice Correspondent Candace Kelley, thanks so much.